Hi, I'm Evan Rutherford with Parthian Enterprises. Today, we're talking about production design. Imagine this, a man and a woman sit at a table in an apartment. They look solemn. Seems pretty vague, right? But perhaps the apartment around them is a mess, broken windows, photos, and doors. Clearly somebody has broken in. Suddenly, the story is much clearer. But imagine the same scene, but the apartment is instead fairly clean. A picture of Joseph Stalin hangs on the wall and a television flickers in the background. Propaganda litters the screen. Now the story is completely different. This shows the amazing power that production design can have on storytelling. What is production design? I like to look at production designers as the ones crafting the world that the story inhabits. Production designers are key in what is referred to as movie magic, or in other words, sustaining the disbelief of the viewer and immersing them into the story. Production designers work meticulously with the director to get a sense of what the world of the film looks like. After that, the production designer works with his or her crew to design set pieces, costumes, makeup, and much more. The example given at the beginning of this video is pretty extreme, and a script will rarely allow that much freedom for production design. That being said, the power a production designer holds in telling the story is still in abundance. For example, with the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Grant Major created a standard for how people imagine the world of Middle-earth to look. Before that, all people had were Tolkien's words and their imagination. So how does one go about making great production design? The first step is to know your tools. Much like painters and other visual artists, using what are called the elements of art can convey so much meaning in a very subtle way. These elements are form, line, color, space, and texture. Let's explore them. Form is the overall shape of things. Imagine designing the helmet for a villain. Form can be used to convey historical significance, like Darth Vader's helmet and a samurai helmet. It can also be used to convey emotion, such as downward slanting eyes like the Persian immortals masks in 300. Lines and curves are often used in decorative sense, in costumes and furnishings in film. Eccentric characters can have intricate designs in their costumes, with patterns going every which way, whereas a very refined character could have very straight, rigid lines in their costume. Color is key in incorporating the story into production design. In the Grand Budapest Hotel, color plays a huge part in differentiating the various time periods explored within the film. You can also use color to symbolize meaning. White as innocence, black as power, purple as royalty, and so on. Space is also very important. To separate actors from the background, space is needed between all other elements of art. Learning to use space effectively can prevent your production design from looking muddled and overwhelming. A lonely character sitting against an empty wall is much more effective than that character sitting against a wall with a complex pattern and color scheme. Finally, texture is how something is perceived to feel. The wet, slimy surface of the xenomorph in Alien is very much something you want to stay away from, but the fuzzy warmness of Chewbacca's fur lets you know that he's a friend. Learning to combine all of these elements into a successful production design takes a lot of time to master. But if you deeply analyze the story, the characters, and the world they inhabit, then use these elements to convey those ideas, your production design is bound to be a success. If you have any questions, leave us a comment below. I'm Evan Rutherford with Parthian Enterprises. Thanks for watching.